It's just really the siege portion of it. We had some fun times, and I got some shots that made me look like a fucking clown, and I got some shots that made me look like a fucking cheater. I don't know. Man, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even play first-person shooter games like that, but I probably should work on my game. That's for sure. Anyways, I just want to say hi.
Meow meow.
Thanks for watching.
Meow 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 meow.
No, apparently Valkyrie let me know.
Meow meow.
Okay, there.
This should be.
Bro, fuck you.
I'm better, bitch.
Why is my god?
Yeah, I'm hacking, by the way. Hacks are on.
He's still alive.
They sound
Also,
like
hi,
they're below
Tessa. Damn. Why the fuck is I'm gonna throw restream out the damn window. I'm gonna shove it right up its own butt.
I was gonna interrogate, but I didn't want to die. Bro, where the fuck they at?
Oopsies.
You take those. Control yourself. Kidding.
Wait, next week is
No. Oh no. I'm in a corner. Oh shit. I got a present.
appreciate the lurking.
Mine does more damage.
Uh-huh. Do it, you won't. Coward.
Late night lucky clocks. Plop, 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 plop.
Oh no!
Ploppity, ploppity, ploppity.
Oh, fuck off.
Bing bong, fuck your life.
Going to the right.
Na, 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 na. Do you ever? Yippee. 3 more. We fund
Golly.
10K.
That was messy as hell.
You spent 1,000 on Backstreet. What kind of pyramid scheme is this?
You're not the best, but well played.
Being scammed. Being scammed by my own chat. Ugh.
Dude, I'm crazy with it.
Be like that though.
Dude, I'm crazy with it.
Be your own.
I'm cheating? I'm
Everybody.
cheating? I'm hacking? I'm hacking? For real? For real? I'm cheating?
Strikers on the stairs. Back stairs.
Fucking cats, bro.
Crazy? I'm lagging for real, for real.
Hit him with a drop shot.
Oh my god. Okay.
Everybody.
Oh, got that dog in him?
I also kind of feel like if you're part of an agency, you're forced to get along with the people that you're also with.
True.
Whereas like you and I.
I was thinking, I was like, I can make people watch my
Kinda
own
get on, like, a
videos
house
on
on
the
fire.
ADHD screen
True.
because I have enough
It's
content
sort
to
of
never
forced
run
into
out.
action.
Right.
Basically,
It's organic.
isn't that toxic?
I mean, I'm sure some of them actually do
Just
like
force you
each
guys
other.
to watch me
Because if you
and
look
me
at like
the same
Doki
time.
Bird and Mint Maid, they're still
insane.
friends, right? They still stream together. And I don't know if that's they definitely
Truly
like
the
each other,
meta
or
play.
they're both from the same agency. Oh shit, I'm better.
Speaking of meta
So they're
players,
trying to
where
like draw on that fan base.
the
I'm not sure which it
Ooh,
is,
ooh,
because it's like, think of it as like a business decision, right?
That was nuts.
You like seeing random retro
Just
games? Yeah, me
business
too.
wise, you'd want to keep those relationships
Oh, to be absolutely clear, I wasn't saying that I was going to do that,
as best as you can,
or that I was like
Oh, yeah,
legitimately
that clip,
considering it.
totally
I was
clutched
just
it up,
thinking
don't
about it
worry.
because I think it's really
It's
funny.
totally fine. We clutched
I
it.
think the concept
Totally
in
won the
itself
round.
is a
Thanks,
good one.
thanks to my
It's like a joke.
superior gunplay and game sense and knowledge. Yeah, that was awesome. If you haven't already, please join my Discord.
Thinking
begging
about
you.
LNL, I see. What do you mean?
It's in the description. Please. Please! Shit, bro. I'll be kicking my feet.
This is gonna be great. You bet.
You bet! I like my voice actress. You haven't gotten used to how
That's the
taller
only
my
time
voice
I've ever
is.
seen the
I know,
screen.
it's so good.
I mean, yeah.
She a big bit.
So many.
I'm just short. It's okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, the LNL.
I'm
screen
so
for Krma
excited!
is a bit,
Let's
I feel like,
go!
the last week or two.
Fucking finally! My bad for taking like
I
an
blame
hour
all
in
the
character creator.
collabs.
Rip.
It's not my fault. It's the collab's fault.
Ooh, weave.
Shift blame onto literally anything else.
Armkin is like baddies,
so
baddies,
weird.
baddies.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it knows the way. Yeah.
Happy Fridays, fuckheads. Happy Friday. Why just not play? Give me one moment. Un momento. Just gotta fix something. I was saying blame all the collabs, don't blame me. It's not my fault. I'm gonna shift the blame and accountability onto literally anything else. That's what everybody else does, right? Yeah, but no. I had this awkward realization the other day. And it doesn't make me feel good because it's kind of stupid. But I've noticed that I would almost rather, how do I explain this? It seems like there are some games that are objectively just better games all the way around, and I enjoy more things about them all the way around than other games. And those games that are better all the way around, for some reason, I get anxiety when thinking about playing them, even though I'm really excited about playing them. And I don't know how to, like, I don't know why that is. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But then, like, there's games that are, like, in the same genre that, let's face it, they're basically just slop. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. And I have no anxieties while playing them. And I haven't quite figured out if it's like I feel like I need to perform better because the game is better type thing or what. But it's been a really weird experience with Metaphor lately. Because I'm like, I get really excited about playing Metaphor. Metaphor would be the example. Like, thinking about playing Trails or Metaphor both give me anxiety, even though I'm like really, really excited to play them and I really, really want to spend more time in those games. But every time I go to like put it on the schedule or like the day of that specific stream, I get really bad anxiety to the point where it like almost gives me decision paralysis. And I had that a few times with Trails too, but I guess I didn't really quite pinpoint it exactly what it was. I was just like, oh, I'm having an off day, teehee. And I thought maybe because I was sick that was part of it. I think it literally just comes down to like there's this essentially, in my opinion, like peak game in front of me, and for whatever reason that specific thing is like just stressing me out. And I think my remedy to that in the future, and I haven't quite figured out if I'm gonna do this or not, but I think with something like Trails 2 in the future, I might not stream my playthrough of that. I might just record it and then do like a VOD style video on the VODs channel, and then do like a highlight video and like a final wrap up video. I'm not like a 20-minute wrap up video or something after I'm done. I'm not really sure. But it may not even be related to the streaming of it. It might just be like the game itself. I have no idea. Does not have anything to do with the narrative. Like maybe the story is a lot to take in. No, I don't think that's it. Because I'm really enjoying the story. And I'm really enjoying like, you know, talking to all the NPCs. And like doing all that stuff. I think maybe like there's a little bit of it might be the fact that sometimes I feel like I'm taking too long because I want to talk to every single NPC after things change and like there's things I want to look at. But even then I've kind of gotten over that. That was the thing I struggled with a while ago, but not so much anymore. So I'm not really sure. Oh man. But either way, it's definitely something that I've noticed only happening with like very specific types of games that I really enjoy. Whereas like something that I would consider basically just like slop, like Pokemon, for example, is just like, I don't feel that same sense of anxiety because like, while it's like decent, it's very like middle of the road experience. It's not something I'd consider like an exemplary game or like a 10 out of 10 or anything. It's just like a solid 7, like it's very good, or it's like a 6, like it's good. I don't think Pokemon games are really all that special. I think they're entirely carried by their Pokemon catching and music usually. I think everything else is pretty either average or below par. But, which is crazy coming from me. Hard mode Pokemon sounds great to you, but that's a thing, right? For me, hard mode Pokemon, to me, I enjoy that challenge because I like the battle mechanics of Pokemon. But as a whole, like you can see it, like maybe I'm just being over analytical because I've been listening to my VODs and doing highlight videos. But to me, a lot of what I like with the Pokemon games, even the collab, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about the story. I'm just kind of here to see if I can make it through this playthrough, or like see how the battle's handled, etc., etc. And a lot of it's been that. Whereas like something with Metaphor, I feel like the battle system's pretty okay, like it's good. But I'm like super like I really like the story, and I really like the music, and I really like the characters and the character design and the world design and the monsters and like all these different things. Whereas Pokemon, to me, it's just like I'm literally just here for the gameplay. I'm bringing up story, which makes you think of narrative again. Yeah, like I like the narrative of Metaphor and Trails. I think they're both phenomenal. Whereas like in Pokemon, I think their narrative is kind of awful. Main system's great and the amount of moves is excellent compared to other JRPGs. I agree with that. But again, why is it that I essentially look forward more to my Pokemon playthroughs because I'm not getting that anxiety than I do my Metaphor or my Trials playthroughs when I objectively like those games more, which I think is so weird. You personally, some days you don't think you're in the right headspace to take in story. You don't think you'd be able to appreciate it well enough on some days if your mind's somewhere else. That's fair. Yeah, Pokemon can be a very, like, in comparison, it could be a very, I don't need to worry about the meat and potatoes type stuff. I could just kind of do my thing in comparison. Maybe I have a point. I don't know. I got some more soul searching to do on that one. That'll take time for sure. It always, stuff like that I usually have to sit on for a while. I mean, I've already sat on it for like a week and change, if not more. What's good, Spacefish? Welcome in, get cozy. We're doing some late night lucky. If you haven't been here for late night lucky before, just keep in mind that I'm writing a book, we're yapping, I'm playing some lo-fi music and thunderstorm music, so just get yourself nice and chill. Not just the story, but appreciating characters and their dialogue. Yeah, and I can understand that. Like, if you're not in the right headspace, you can feel like you're wasting your time playing the game, or you're not getting as much out of it, because you're just not there to be able to, like you said, appreciate the entire package. That's fair. I had something similar with fighting games sometime. I mean, it was different because it didn't have to do with the characters of the story. But there were some days where I was like, I booted up and I was like, I know I'm going to learn nothing today. I'm going to absorb, like, the combo practice doesn't matter. The character matchup knowledge, like, nothing matters because I'm actually just going to go full autopilot and gain nothing from this experience today. Sometimes you're just there. I don't know. Like I said, I definitely got to chew on it, though, because it's very... To me, it's almost fascinating that I feel so strongly that something like Trails and Metaphor are just so much better, like as an overall package to me specifically. Yet I feel anxiety when booting them, like scheduling them or booting up that day until I do it, and then it's like kind of fine. Gymnast gameplay going too is rad. Yeah, we usually do like speed runs or 100% or whatever on the ADHD brain rot screen. Just depends on what chat votes for and what shows up. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, head ass. So where do we leave off? Let's see. Let me fix my chat box size. It's a little small. There we go. We left off. Balls. Okay, we left off on second day, the fight between Axel and Hansel. They both came into. Oh shit, that's gonna be really loud. Yeah. Thanks, COD. How's it going, shit? Welcome in. Pudding mustard. Got nerfed AF. Yeah, you did. Sorry to say. Let's see. Tired and hot as balls right now. Yeah, RIP to everyone that's having to deal with the heat today. I'm sorry. You don't want to know what the temperature is by me right now because you'll be mad as hell. 100 degrees. Boy, turn off your device and just go to sleep. It's not even worth being awake anymore. What did he say? He said, what was the British low tier god thing he said? I told you I'd forget about it after 30 seconds. There's no way I'm remembering it now. Oh my god, that shit was so funny too. It's rainy by you, Spacefish? Damn. Is it like muggy and rainy though, or is it like nice out and rainy? Because there's a massive difference mood-wise. I used to live in an area where even when it rained, it was always like super hot and sticky and muggy. And I wanted to box people because I'd like shower after working out and then I'd still be wet and sticky. It was disgusting. 6 hours of sleep ain't helping either. Get some sleep, bit. For real. Take care of yourself. Not 100 degrees, but still hot as balls. I'm sorry. RIP chat. You'll all be missed, and so were your balls. Is that a frog in your pants? Or you're just happy to see me? It's cool out though. It's great. Hell yeah. A fish in cool weather with some rain. More likely to bite on the lure, that's for sure. Space fish too, even better. Wow, gobble, 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 gobble. An ice bath right now. I've sworn off ice baths. I haven't done an ice bath in a while, and I don't intend to. I don't care. I did them for years. Passu. Don't bring you out of the water, but I'm hungry. It's okay. Yo, my motherfucking first order of the day was chicken wings, and I had to smell that shit for 35 minutes. I was mad as hell today. I was like, I want chicken wings, brah. Shit was so ass. Alright, so he introduced Axel, and Axel was met with a solid response from the crowd, but the screams of younger women drowned out the cheers of everyone else. He adjusted his hammer on his thigh before reaching for a rectangular device slotted in his satchel. I want to finish this quickly, but if watching the others has taught me anything, it's that I should be more deliberate in how I handle this fight. Yippee! Axel waved at his fans as he reached the center of the arena. Augustine began pumping up the crowd once more, and from the western entrance, we had another member from the Marionette Mafia. At the young age of 11, he earned the reputation of being a specialist in the field of slaying darkborn creatures. He is the brother to Gretel and the sole practitioner of a unique type of magic. Please welcome Hansel Krampf. Hansel took long strides as he marched towards the center of the ring. The crowd reacted favorably, and the same women who cheered for Axel lost their minds for Hansel and kind. Hansel eyed Axel suspiciously. Good lord, words are hard today. As he pulled out his trusty bow. Something isn't right. He doesn't strike me as the artillery type. Don't tell me he plans to fight with that hammer and strange box. String? Nice. No, I'm missing something. Something big. Can I bold the big too on top of italicizing? Because that'd be funny. Hansel shook his head. So what's your plan? He asked. Gonna fight me with that hammer? Hansel pointed to Axel's hammer. Axel shrugged. Maybe? I hope not. I think it's heavy after swinging it for a bit. Nice. If you get you out of the water, you're calling the Vemmon army? Yo, fuck your Vemmon army. Fuck Galatamon. Fuck Vemmon. Fuck them all. I don't care. Ugly is. Tell them to come over here and try their bullshit in my turf. See what happens. I might just open up a singularity hole. Fucking port them to another side of the universe. Bye-bye, stupid. See if you can survive the gravity. Bong. Kill them all. Fuck-ass Digimon. Daring today. Bold and italicized. I know. You guys might need to put a muzzle on me. I'm going a little crazy. Search Vemon, search Vemon. It's funny you say that, and it's funny I'm hating on that deck. Have I ever told you guys what deck I mained in Weiss? And people used to get so mad. So if you guys don't know what Weiss Shores is, it's a trading card game that focuses on anime games. It's really, really fun. I love it. But anyways, I used to run a Aqua deck from Konosuba. I ran a few things. I ran Amelia, I ran Aqua. I had a bunch of like fun decks, but this was my main deck because it was supposed to be a meme deck, but I just made it work and I got lucky all the time. So the whole point of like this here, this is a card's level, right? This is a card's cost. I'm not going to go over everything, so it doesn't really matter. But basically, this was your boss mon, if you think of it in Digimon terms, right? This is your kind of end game card. This is what you're winning with. And the whole point of this is that you would put a swarm, a street, access, devotee. There was a bunch of different arts for this card because in Konosuba there was a bunch of different Axis Church devotees. So you would essentially use these. These are your level zeros. This is how you get the deck going. But in Weiss, you have a card limit of 4 copies of a card, right? So I can only run, for example, 4 of this Aqua in my deck. But the Swarmed on the Street Axis Church devotee cards, you have a continuous effect that says you could put any number of cards with the same name as this card into your deck. So you could run as many copies of this card as you wanted to, always. And then you essentially have 5 battle slots to put cards into. You have 3 in your front row or your center stage. And the center stage is where the cards that are there can attack. So you could have... just so you can get a visual. This isn't very helpful. Yeah, this sucks. Re-zero Weiss. This one has it. It's kind of better. It's not great, but it does look a little bit neater. So you essentially have your deck, your trash. This is your clock. I'm not even going to touch on the clock right now. And then you have 2 slots here. And then a slot, a slot, a slot. So you'd have 3 slots up front, 2 slots in the back. All 3 of the cards in the front can attack during your turn. The cards in the back, you can like switch positions and stuff. And they could do like power-ups or different things. But essentially, the point is that your offensive cards go in the front, your supporting cards go in the back, or the cards that you want to bring forward later when they get blown up go forward, right? So this whole deck, essentially, the way that it was built as the primer, would run like 15, it would run like 16 of these, give or take a few. Usually level 0s, you would run a specific amount of level 1s, level 2s, level 3s, whatever. I'm not going to get into deck theory right now, but this deck was kind of an off-kilter deck. It wasn't really played normally. So you'd run a bunch of these because what would happen is, Aqua, when you go into this card, you draw 2 cards, and then you could put a card in your hand into your waiting room, which is your trash. It's your recycling, your graveyard, whatever you want to call it. That's your WR, your waiting room. Then at the beginning of your climax phase, yes, it's called climax phase, I'll get there in a second, you could choose 3 cards named Swarm the Street, Axis Church, Devotee in your waiting room, and then put them face up in any order. Underneath this card is markers. So think of markers as like Digimon inheritables, right? The inheritables themselves don't always necessarily give your top card, the card on top of the stack, extra effects, but sometimes the top card will get extra effects based on the amount of markers it has. There's obviously exclusions to the rule, right? So your climax phase happens after your main phase. And your climax phase, Goddess, Fury... Your climax phase is when you can use something called a climax card. Shocker, I know. And your climax cards, instead of being vertical or like portrait art, they're always landscape art or horizontal. And you can only have 8 climax cards in your 50 card deck. So most decks run 2 different climax cards. So 4 copies of each. making that 8 total, right? And there's reasons for this I'm not going to get into right now. But when you play them, they usually have a continuous effect. So that continuous effect is like an activated effect, right? So this will say all your characters get plus 1k power and 1 soul. So for every soul that you have, that's how much direct damage you can do to your opponent. Your power is what you check when you fight your opponents, like monster cards or character cards. So that's what that means. So this card in particular, essentially, when you have Goddess Sphere in your climax zone, which is like right here, well, it's basically, it's just here in the main zone, but whatever. People put it in different places. Your opponent mills X cards from the top of their deck into their waiting room, and then if there's a climax revealed in those cards, you could choose a level 3 or lower card that's across from this card, and then put it in their clock. So their clock is where they take damage. So once they hit 7 damage, they level up. And once you get to level 4, you die. The instant you hit level 4, it's over. And then X is equal to the number of markers under this card. So usually, between the CX combo, which is the climax combo, between going into your climax phase and there's like a option card, they're called event cards. You can have like 6+ cards underneath Aqua. She's gonna mill a bunch of cards, usually gonna hit a clock, and then she's gonna do hella damage, right? She's gonna hurt the enemy pretty bad. And sometimes you make them refresh their deck, which makes them automatically take a ping of damage. But this deck was like, in comparison to a lot of the meta decks, I would say it was really linear in terms of what it did, depending on how you built it. Sometimes some people would just build it like purely on theme. I didn't. I built this did I get rid of the icon? I did. It's fine. I don't need shot right now. But I built this with some other Aqua support in it, and it was actually like really consistent, and I got a reputation at my locals of kind of being like the premier Aqua player. Like if somebody was going to regionals and they wanted to run, or like nationals and they wanted to run an Aqua deck, they'd usually come talk to me. Or if they were fighting against Aqua decks having a hard time, they'd come talk to me. I wish I got there with Amelia, but I never did. But I was just like, I really built this deck specifically incredibly well, and I did build some other decks that people used and went on to have success with, but I never got to the point where I was like piloting meta decks incredibly well like some of these players, because some of these players, like, honestly, no shade to other games, but some of the players in Weiss are just overall better trading card players than any of the other games I played. Not all of them, obviously. But I'm talking like the highs. Some of the Weiss players are like truly gods at their craft. They are able to pilot their chosen deck better than players that like pilot their chosen deck in Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. It was really, really impressive. I'm gonna put up any suggestions for what we want the next speed run to be. I'm not even gonna put up a poll. I'm just gonna take suggestions. Windows 98, hell yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed this deck. I really enjoyed the game. I wish I had a digital client, but Bushy Road is hella ass, and Bushy Road's the people that makes the game. It's because you need to follow the 20 resource systems that Weiss use. Listen, if you can handle Magic, if you can handle Yu-Gi-Oh, if you can handle Digimon, you can handle any other trading card game, you can handle Weiss. To play Weiss, like the skill floor for Weiss is low enough that anybody can learn it. To be like god tier at Weiss, yeah, it requires you to keep, I would say it requires you to keep track of more things and more probability than some other games, but I think like it's easy enough to get into on the base level. Now granted, if you're buying 2 starter decks, mashing them together, and you're going against a meta deck, you actually have a chance to win. You can win. You could outskill your opponent and win. Somebody took oh my god, a Persona 5 starter deck and won a national with it because they forgot their deck at home or the hotel. I can't remember which. They wound up winning with a Persona 5 starter deck because they just straight up outskilled their opponents, which is insane to think about. And they got a little lucky too, but still, luck's kind of part of this game. And you can account for luck. Kind of like in Pokemon, right? Sometimes you just get unlucky, but most of the time you can account for, hey, I might get paralyzed here. Hey, I might get crit here or whatever. Also, imagine being a judge at 4 TCGs, the amount of work that takes. That's crazy. Pass. That's fucking insane. Let's do... I don't know what to do. Let's see. Did SS? Let's do other good Zelda speedrun game. World record. Yeah, we've done a lot of Zelda ones recently. Let's do... We haven't done Minish Cap yet. Wind Waker? We just did Wind Waker recently. I'm pretty sure, didn't we, chat? Didn't we do that like a month ago? 3 weeks ago? I'll tell you what, we could do a Wind Waker randomizer. Let's do a Wind Waker randomizer. Great thumbnail? Oh yeah, for the ad. Here we go. We'll do a randomizer. I'm down for that. DK64. You're gonna have to remind me because this is a long one. Yeah, 85%. What are the chances I miss an 85% accurate move 5 times in a row? Chance calculator. I don't even know how to even do that math. What are the chances to miss 85% accurate? Whoops. Accurate move 5 times in a row. Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine. Alright, moist critical. So what is it? I mean, I guess I could just like do basic. I should really look up the damage calcs too, so I can like raw dog the numbers in my head one day. That'd be helpful. Digimon judging is the hardest. Allystrolls? I don't even know what Allystrolls is. Was that one of those like Kickstarter ones? This card frame looks awfully familiar. Yeah, this card frame is like right off of Fiverr. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by the way. Yeah, that's why this looks familiar. Because I was looking up to see if I wanted to pay someone for card frames or not. And it turned out that I did not. Yeah, this looks incredibly familiar. The art style looks familiar too. Pretty close to Yu-Gi-Oh gameplay. Oof. Oof. Woof. A tiny thing. That's a squinted. Bruh. Squinted. Love me a good resource in my TCG. It's okay. I don't think I saved my notes for my my TCG with the rules and stuff, so I think all that shit's gone. Which is really funny. Like I had it saved on my computer and then my computer got nuked, so I think it's all gone now. I vaguely remember, but that was a while ago. Trading card games are expensive though, man. That's why I'm doing like a CCG instead. It's still expensive. When you run out of your resource, you lose. Hell yeah. I already know what I'm doing every game. Rip and tear, turn and burn, baby. Are the fighters ready? Augustine called out to them. We both gave a nod. Burn yourself to 0 and make your opponent lose 5 spirits. Damn. That's rude. Nice resource you got there. It'd be a shame if I just made you lose a quarter of it. Because it's funny. I'm gonna get a nut. Give Steam. Oh my god. Mod. Bro, I'm cooking myself right now. Yeah. Seems fair until you get their spirits down to the last 5 and then you auto shoot them. You just play the card and win. It's a pretty silly win con, I like it. Definitely fair and balanced, I'm sure. I like what I call lunch trading card games, where you can finish it in a lunch session. Like Rebirth for you. Anyway, I suspend Vemon to add Destromon to my hand and tuck Vemon and set a trap hole in a mirror force, and then I cast Lightning Bolt for 1 red mana, and I end my turn. On my turn end, I Digivolve and suspend all of your Digimon and Tamers, and I gain 2 memory. I gain a memory for every 2 Digimon or Tamers you have suspended, and your Digimon and Tamers can't unsuspend during your unsuspend phase. And then after that, I play Black Hole, Dark Hole, and destroy all monsters on the field, and I Synchro Summon fucking Junk Synchron 2000 in Sparkling mode, and then I Ray Burst you with a 2-handed Great Axe. Congratulations, I play 0 equip cost, and now I can dual wield Exodia, the Forbidden One, and Spirit Board. That allows me to automatically win the game. GG, shake my hand, go next. That was fun. Let's do this sometime soon. And also, fuck you and see you next week. What was I talking about? I don't remember. It's okay. I'm surprised nobody's built a Galacticmon Cannondramon deck yet. I'm disgusted in all of you. Use Assembly to play EX9 Machine Dramon, tucking Rise Gray, Rapid, War Growlin, using Machine Dramon play to tuck and activate Metal Tyranno. Silly Mujinmon. You don't like decks where the same mon is used a lot? At Vemon, at Agumon, at Gilmon, at any EX deck, I guess, or Axe Antibody deck. Teehee, teehee, haha. I don't like decks where it's like, and I play a lot of these, but I don't like decks where you fucking you have like a Bossmon, or like okay, basically I don't like toolbox decks where like rather than building around a bossmon or building like a thematic thing or like a cohesive deck, you're essentially just building around a mechanic or a specific way to play or stop people from playing, and then you just throw all the shit in to do that. I don't enjoy that, and there's a lot of those in Digimon. And I think that's part of my problem with like Medieval Gallantmon, because it enables that style of play even more. I could do a, you know, maybe I could do a whole video on just like how much I dislike Medieval Gallantmon and the current Digimon meta, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be super overly negative. I love toolbox decks because of the amount of variety. The difference between running tech cards and running toolbox though, and also I did say I run a lot of toolbox decks. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm saying I don't like them. But they're a necessary evil of the game right now. Also, rip Hunters. I think Hunters is cool. Toolbox to me is essentially you're building with the intent to essentially break mechanics and break certain decks rather than building around your bossmon or your theme, for example. I think my dogs are barking, so I'm gonna mute real quick. I like variety in my decks, and I like decks to have options to fight back and do other things. But when a deck's entire purpose is to simply do it all and abuse as many mechanics as possible, or stop other people from playing the game as much as possible, I don't like that. See, but I treat Galaxy and Adventure as being engines. I don't treat them as toolbox. I think they enable toolboxes, but they are engines. Whereas like a toolbox would be, I mean, there's like a million of them, right? There was, for the longest time, there was purple hybrid toolbox. There's a lot of blue toolbox decks that just run toolbox related shit. There's a lot of Mega Zoo type toolbox decks. What was the fucking security control deck that was essentially just toolbox for a while there? Was it Rapidmon? I can't remember. Was it Rapidmon X or was it Magna? I don't remember. I didn't really fight it that much, which was weird because it was strong during the time. I don't know. I still can't believe I hard played a Cannongermon on somebody and they rage quit right shortly after that. That's so funny to me. I'll never forget that moment for as long as I live. Like, out of all the things I've done, that's probably one of the funniest things I've ever done. It wasn't even in a Mega Zoo deck either. That's what makes it better. I was just like, oh, fuck it, we ball, I guess. And it worked out really well. RK and 7DL are both wonderful. You know what's funny? I don't really have beef with either of those decks. As annoying as RK is, because all RK is you're on a timer. Because the thing was, okay, so the thing with RK is you're not really interacting with that deck. You're just trying to outpace them. You need to out damage them before they get their Omnimon and WinCon out. RK is like a solitaire deck, in my opinion. There's a few solitaire decks in the game, and RK is definitely one of them. True. But people still also use it. Don't they run a 1-up still? Or am I tripping? Because every time I see an RK, they still run the Omnimon for the... they still have it. 3-of? Right, so they're still running it as a WinCon. Like, it's still Omni X is the WinCon. I mean, I guess, but you still win off of Omni. Like, you don't need the Omni X. The Omni X is a win more, right? It's just a win more button. Whereas like Omnimon, they still win with. Otherwise, they wouldn't be running Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, they're winning with essentially multiple routes. OmniX wins before Omni can. I've yet to see that in any of my fights against RK players. Maybe they're just not running OmniXs or enough of them, so I'm not seeing them. But yeah, I don't know. I've played something like 150 matches in the last since BT20. 120 maybe. I don't know. My play time's a little lower, so it might be closer to 120, 110. Gotta choose a deck with 12 Monmons or a deck with 4 Monmon, 4 Renamon, 4 Agumon. You choose the latter. That's fair, I guess. New option has a delay to prevent OmniX from being slurped. This is true. Well, they do have to get it out, though. Also, what an annoying card. I feel like some of the X antibodies, the top end ones that are dropped recently, are kind of obnoxious. Some of the cards are getting super power crept out of the game. X antibody hate. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that, well, we'll see with Cyber Sleuth, but I'm kind of hoping there's some cards that get new versions with maybe a little bit so I can play the game. It's surprising to me like how relevant Mervamon is still. And we're like, oh, that was BT11. It wasn't that long ago. And then you're like, okay, we're on BT21 now. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like it was a while ago. These sets come out quick, bitch. We're moving. And like Mervamon still does stuff, right? I'm surprised I haven't played a Masked Mon deck recently. Mirage would in fact still be standing. That is true. CS gonna be kind of type like Hero is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they could literally do anything with CS they want to. They're literally just slapping it on anything, which is fine. Mastermon's mid right now. Yeah, it's fine. It still kind of just does the same shit. I don't know. I haven't played it essentially since PT11 at all. That's not because of power level or anything. It's just because there's other decks I prefer to play. Most of the CS cards are pro tag cards from the game manga right now. L plus ratio. Maramon's Jimmykins. Teehee. Maramon. Throw it back. Maramon. Don't smoke crack. 3GA. Massmon at the top. That's pretty high. Vidgerline is Rena's. That makes sense. Not entirely surprising. Love me a good Rena set of cards. Rena kind of hype. I don't care what anybody says. Secret rare Rena gotta go to the moon. Yeah, because the Gooners love themselves Rena. Did I tell you guys the time I sold all my alt art Renas? I got like $500 for all 3 of them, or 4 of them. My bad. More Mirai support. I wouldn't be too surprised. You want to see some really cursed that I'm working on? If it's even in here, I don't remember if I put it in here yet. Mirai the lesbian deck, true. Yuri does in fact sell. We're not going to touch that. I'm working on a my wear deletion deck with a Chimera loop slapped in it. I've only done this is my 2nd iteration of it. It's gonna be a little silly. Yeah, every time I delete the new decks or delete decks out, they always pop back in. even if I delete them from the word pad. So I don't know. I gave up. But this stack, because one of the issues with the Chimera loop stack is sometimes you just don't have enough memory to do the stuff you want. So as a joke, I was like, what if, since this stack always gains so much memory, I was like, what if I just gain a fuck ton of memory on my turn with Metal Garurumon, and then I finish stuff out? You get why Yuki got such little support compared to all the Liberator characters? Because they're haters. It's literally the only reason. Which one is this? Oh, yeah. I gotta update my GGmon list. This deck I can't wait to finish. I can't wait to do a video on this one. I don't like how right now I feel like I'm kind of locked into using Cybergermon, but I could probably get rid of it. I can't wait to finish this deck. It's gonna be really fun. Once I have this down pat, it's gonna be a very silly deck. There's an odd balance between the Battle Gamamons and the Flamegermons, where like Flamegermon can help with the petrification tokens and stuff, but Battle Gamamon's been finishing matches relatively consistently because of Blitz. And I'm almost like, at this point, I could just run a Digivolve over your Tamermon, but I'm also suspending these, so I'm kind of like, I don't know. Definitely some decisions to make here. I gotta play more of this though to really decide. Shit's pretty, it's been really funny. I mean, if I wanted to play a good Medusimon, I would just like build the list, you know? The list, one of the two variants, but I don't know. This shit's just really funny. It's hard not to enjoy this. I definitely gotta work on that more. I also need to, I need to update Lunaforce. I haven't updated Lunaforce in a hot minute. It needs work. Imagine having your alternate Guilmon Ilmon line come out at the same time where the default Guilmon deck is at its highest point. I know. Poor Yuki. PGR is collabing with DMC5. I know. We've been talking about it in Discord. It's pretty hype. And it looks really good too. Looks better than the DMC game. For real, for real. Normal up to level 6, so you Digi Nagaimon. That's pretty silly. Imagine. I still haven't made my video on this deck. At this point, it's out of date anyways. I'm so far behind because I keep having issues. One day. One day. Got a lot of deleting to do. Which one is this one? Is this the meme one? Yeah, it is. It's funny. Soon. Can't believe we're getting a free character from that collab too, COD. Speaking of free characters, I didn't even do my dailies today. I've been so busy the past couple days. I haven't had time to do dailies. I haven't had time to really do a lot of my day-to-day stuff other than like chores and shit. Oh, speaking of which, since some of y'all are here, I need to have a serious conversation with you about stream times. So here's the thing. Obviously I'm going back to school, right? And there's this possibility of starting this new job on Monday. World A, I keep this job that I'm starting on Monday. And sometimes I'll have to start stream a little bit late because I could be working until 9 o'clock at night instead of starting, you know, this at 8. But also I might have to end early because I would have to do college work because I'll be working from first thing in the morning till late at night, and then I may not get my college done, and that'll be like 2 days a week. I'll have to focus on college pretty hard, so short streams might be shorter. So there's that. The other thing is that with this job, I won't be able to really produce videos like at all, and the assumption is I also won't be able to afford to pay for an editor. So if I want to continue to make videos, I'll probably have to hit stream time a little bit as well. So I'll probably have between 2. These are a lot of probablys because I'm not actually living in this lifetime yet, right? But I'll probably have about 2 to 4 days a week where my streams, instead of being 4 hours, will be guaranteed to be 2 hours. And I can't hit the streams that I collab. So for example, the voice acting streams with the collab with Alyss, Purple, and Van, where we do the Digimon Hackers Memory, that will be untouched. The streams on Sunday with Cam and Hope will also be untouched, right? I'll just continue to do those as planned. So it'll be the other streams that'll take a hit. So that's like world 1. World 2 is I quit this job before I start it, and things continue as normal stream wise, but there's some other negatives to that, right? And then world 3 is that possibly I might have to move my stream time back to 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. EST if I don't take this job. And there's reasons for that I don't really want to get into, but essentially I'd be streaming 3 hours. I'd start 3 hours later, and I would stream until the same 4 hour markish, basically, and I'd wrap up at about 3:30 ish in the morning. The problem with this, as some of you know, is it's already late for you guys. So for a lot of you, you probably won't be able to make the streams, or if you can, you'll barely be able to stay. And I don't necessarily want to do that either. So, but right now, as things stand, the working situation and like the way things are right now can't stay. We tried this for a while and it's just not working. It's simply not working. So there's gonna have to be some changes here in the near future. I don't know exactly what that change is gonna look like. I'm gonna fight tooth and nail to keep my stream start time at 8 o'clock EST as much as possible, but I don't know. Temporarily, I don't know what's gonna happen from there until I secure a job in my career field that I'm going to school for, or until I can officially work for myself. There's only so much I can do. So this is kind of where we're at. So just a warning, I'll probably make a Discord post over the weekend about it, but just a heads up that stream times might get incredibly inconsistent, or as far as like when I start, or just shorter in general. I have no control over that. And I can't exactly go back to sleeping 3 hours a night because that wasn't working either. We tried that for a year. The 3-4 hours of sleep was wasn't working. So rip, sorry, my bad. I tried. I did what I could. Sometimes you just don't succeed, you know? You better sleep. I do now. We made it. You're insane for 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, but like I could justify it. Just I couldn't, like my body eventually said, yeah, we can't do this anymore, and I lost. So whatever, that's fine. I mean, on average, I fall asleep around 3 o'clock in the morning, right? 3 to 4, and then I wake up at I wake up around like 7, and then around 8 o'clock, like 8:15, I can usually go back to sleep, and sometimes I'll sleep and sometimes I don't. So sometimes I get the sleep I need and sometimes I just raw dog it. Just depends. But I can't, like, I'm not going to be able to do that schedule anymore. Things have to change. So yeah. If this ever became my full-time job, essentially what I would do is I would start my streams at 8. I would go to midnight minimum. I'd go to midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning. That'd be the range. And then I would make videos and record and stuff until about 4 in the morning. And then I would sleep until probably 8, until I have to get up and take care of my kids again and then go back to sleep, like that kind of thing. Thanks for the head pats. And then I'd like do my life stuff during the day, do some more recording and editing, and then just continue to, you know, stream for 4+ hours a day. But there, like, literally, there's just not enough time in the day to do all of the things. So I have to make cuts somewhere. Because the problem with the job that I'm taking is that it's not like a regular full-time job where it's 40 hours a week, right? It's 6 days a week. It's 10-hour days, 9 to 10-hour days. So there has to be cuts somewhere. I can't just like, you know, and that's assuming that I'm not taking calls when I'm quote unquote off the clock. So like, it's just like, you know, I gotta work around this shit. That's all. Thanks for the pink on the strinova. We love a good watermelon. We both gave Augustine a nod. You know how I'm gonna juggle all that, but good luck. Same way I was juggling it when I was doing it fucking however long ago. I mean, when I was working my last set of sales jobs, this is what I was doing. Start early in the day and go till late. Sometimes I have to start stream late, or sometimes I'm on time. And then I stream, and I, you know, still a mystery to you to this day. I just did it. I don't know. This is what it is. I mean, cause like, what's the alternative, right? What's the alternative? The alternative is I don't stream? I stream not at all? Or I like drop making videos altogether? Like what's... And I think we've had this conversation before in general, but for me, like I would rather, personally, I would rather have that thing that makes me happy that I do every single day and sacrifice other things in my life that like some people might be like, what is wrong with you type thing. Because if I don't, I actually get mentally ill. I function better on less sleep and like quote unquote missing out on some things IRL, but still being able to do my streams, still being able to like make the videos that I do, where it's like if I just like cut back entirely, like I can't do that. It's not possible. And I don't even know if I can go to a stream schedule where I'm only streaming 4 to 5 days a week. I don't think I can do that. Because every single time, even like when I was like really sick and I like couldn't stream, and I had to take like a day or two off to like actually rest because it was hard to sit up, it was hard to do shit because I was so ill. Every single time I've taken a day off of stream, I've regretted it. I feel wrong. I feel sick when I don't stream. Yes, I'm addicted. I'm aware, and it's probably not healthy, but I enjoy this. This is what I like doing. It's like, I don't know. You fucking take somebody who has a schedule that they've lived out for however long that makes them happy, and you rip them away from that and see how they feel. Cold turkey it is. I'm not doing that shit. Sorry. I've literally been told that like I'm sick in the head by people that know me because I would rather like do this than like some other things. Like, I remember there was supposed to be there was a time we were supposed to go on a trip, and I was like, there's like 2 big reasons I don't want to go on this trip. One, the first one, the big one, is that one of my offspring can't handle a trip that long. They're not old enough. That's a massive trip. It's not like we're stopping at hotels to get them rest. We're going down there for 2 days. It's an 8-hour drive one way. You want them to be in the car for 16 hours over the course of like, you know, 3-4 days? That doesn't make sense. You know, that's not good for them. And we already did it once for a reason that was out of our control, and it was miserable for them. They were thrown off for weeks. I don't want to do that again. And the other reason is, how the fuck am I supposed to stream while we're there? I don't want to do that. No, thank you. Pass. That's like I have jobs, job opportunities that were offered to me. They're like, yeah, during training you'll be spending a month in this state in this hotel. And I was like, okay, what's their Wi-Fi like? They're like, oh, you're not gonna have Wi-Fi. And I was like, yeah, I can't be without Wi-Fi for a month. I need like good reliable Wi-Fi so I can, you know, do my side things. Like, well, what do you do? And I was like, it doesn't really matter. Like, well, we really want to bring you on board. I was like, that's fine, but I'll need to have Wi-Fi wherever I stay. I'm not going to go a whole month without doing, you know, the thing that I do. They just wouldn't, like, they were like, okay, well, you'll just have to not have Wi-Fi. And I was like, all right, well, I don't want to accept the job offer then. Thanks for your time. And that would be that. I don't care. I don't care. Can't stand long car rides. You get sick. You get car sick unless you have meds putting you to sleep. That's rough as fuck. I'm sorry, Tasso. I can't even fathom what that would be like. That sounds horrid. Terrible. No. That's a hard pass. At that point, you just bike everywhere. Be like that sometimes? Yeah, I do. It do in fact be like that sometimes. This Legend of Zelda randomizer is kind of wild. Oh man. Begin. All right. Well, it's fight night time. What's up, Ninetales? You're rebuilding some of your decks? Hell yeah. Which ones are you going to be rebuilding? It's that time. It's rebuild season for everybody. We gotta do... When you were a kid, your parents took you on a long car ride. You plugged in a Wii, hooked up the TV, and put in your dad's wheelchair and played Pokemon Battle Revolution the whole way. See, that's tight as fuck. I feel that. I used to just play games all the way down on long rides too, but yeah, plugging in a Wii goes hard. I think the most wild gaming setup I've ever done in a car is I hooked up a flat screen in the back seat so that on my lunch breaks at a specific sales job, I could go out there, eat my food, and play games on my, at the time, home console that I would just bring with me everywhere because I had the full setup in my car. I had like a pillow and a blanket in the back seat. I had like a little mini fridge in the trunk. So I just like pull shit out of there and like drink stuff and whatever. Shit was so tight. I miss that a little bit. Life was easier, simpler. Gotta rebuild all of them. Bruh, I'm sorry. Can we see how much it is to build my deck really quick? One of my decks really quick. Kind of interested. Just out of like pure curiosity's sake. I don't have money to build it. I just want to see. Wanting to play games so badly is what made you motion sick. If you don't have a game though, then you usually fall asleep on your own. Wild. Truly wild. Imagine being able to just like fall asleep. Imagine just being able to close your eyes and go to sleep. Fucking superpower head ass. I can't believe that. That doesn't even seem real to me. I wouldn't believe it if my wife couldn't do it, but she can. So let's build. Let's build a more standardized one. You brought your Wii U around sort of like a Switch, just plugging the console in a random wall and then playing on the tablet. Understandable, but also shake my damn head. Team Fortress 2 Harvest. Imagine playing Team Fortress 2. Also, where's Napped so they could yap about TF2 with you? Genuinely. The rocking motion? Oh, that's fair. Yo, get this motherfucker a rocking chair. For real, for real. Nah, not this one. This one's a meme deck. Okay. Come on. Actually, is there a way to just export the cards into Builder here? Can't remember. Could have sworn there was. Account data collection. Cards from deck list. Bam, ba-dum. Bitch. Okay. You're playing demo in Caber Night. A quick time event that no one asked for. Better press triangle to survive. No thanks, pass. Stringify. I'm already stringified. Oh, I must have unstringified. Also, I should be no longer watermelon. So if I buy the cheapest versions of these things, that's BT3. Check the notepad. What you mean by that? Kyoto. Let's see. Kyotomon's like less than, yeah. The Tempest, as always. Pawn Chessmon. Oh, gotcha. You know, I was just trying to actually export it into here. This should be 3-3 and then 4-4, yeah. Oh, you a hoe for this. Okay, well. I hate that. Go back. So that's this one. And then this one. One. 3. I mean, this deck should be overall relatively cheap, right? Assuming we don't worry too much about the other cards at the top end. Sister on. 100. Somebody's trying to sell out. BT6, right? Yeah. Shouldn't be too bad. Bop, bop, bop. I mean, I already have alt arts of a lot of these. Lucky deck pass? That just sounds rude, though. The fuck? Why am I a past? Alright, we're gonna ignore medieval for now. Let me see something. Not really. Okay. You need to choose between playing Vem, Hunters, Cross, RK, 7, Shine, Sock, Adventure, or Gamma tomorrow. Are you trying to win? You trying to be a whole ass hoe? What's happening? What are you trying to do? That's the real question. Should be 3 and 3, 4. I have these in reverse. What the fuck? Why? This one's supposed to be at 4. The other one's supposed to be at 3. Whatever, it's fine. Key. Well, I guess it just depends on your area, huh? And what people play there. The Strive source code leak. The next Strive stream is going to be Dice Gain a Room with the leaker. True, I hope so. I'm actually really sad about the leak. I'm kind of tired of people leaking shit in general. I'm glad I didn't see it, but it's like just knowing it exists makes me really sad. Also, I can't wait to main Ram for the fifth season in a row. It's pretty funny if you ask me. I got all these new characters, and I'm still playing Ram after all this time. What did I do? I did something wrong. You could realistically build this deck for less than $60, no issue. I mean, I'm missing some cards clearly, but yeah, them. And honestly, you could build the more straightforward version without the yeah. It's pretty nuts, actually. I gotta mute, hold on. Yeah, I'm muted. I'll be back. Sorry. If two dogs fought two coyotes, who would win? The real question is if two cats fought two raccoons, who would win? But hey, we don't want to pit the cuties against the cuties, you know? I'm back. You have a Syndromon up for trade? Have you considered just not using Syndromon? Oh man. If 100 trans femmes fought against a clicker, who would win? All the trans femmes. I don't even know what that means actually. I'm just saying words. I left? Nope. I was here the whole time. I never left. Bitch. Check my count. What count? Dr. Blah, blah. Word. It's about clicker training. Every time somebody says clicker, I just envision the assholes from The Last of Us. I'm just assuming that's what we're talking about here. best game, you're entitled to that opinion, I think. Little remote that makes clicky noises like a pen. Oh, for dogs? Arf arf. Yeah, I too train my humans like I would an animal. Sit, bark, shake, roll over, come, stay, down. Yep. Good boy. Who's a good boy? There's a good boy. Yeah, that kind of thing. Good girl. Yeah, that kind of thing. Oh. What do you call the opposite of writer's block? Where you have all the ideas and you're ready. You know what the best video game is, but it's probably an indie game. I think at this point, saying like picking a best video games, like picking a best song, that feels pretty. Best game of all time feels pretty impossible. What would you even use as like your defining factors to make it the best game? Do you rely on fun factor, which is entirely subjective? Do you rely on like graphics and sound design and all that other stuff, or what do you go? What do you go with? It's truly hard to pin down something like that. It's kind of an ambiguous idea, and I think the answer is going to be different for most people for how they would decide that, let alone the game they would go with and the reasons they would go with that game. I can't say my best game of all time because nobody would know what it is. Oh man. Try you? I mean, unless you know a very specific human individual that made a specific video game and never released it, there's no shot you would know the game. So, yeah, no, I'm not gonna try you. Shit's just not gonna happen. Oh my god. Yeah, that's fair, Space Fish. I'm also incredibly biased because it takes like takes two of my damn near favorite things and it just kind of smashes them together. It's pretty hype. Oh goodness me. Tetris and roguelites? Yeah, they're both really good. I'm trying to think if there's any roguelite I could like declare safely as the greatest of all time without any mods or like workshop changes. That's the thing, right? Like, I wouldn't declare a game the greatest of all time if you're including like modding capabilities and stuff, because that seems like cheating. Hades or Slay the Spire? I mean, they're both really safe choices, right? Trying to think, would I define a greatest game of all time as a game I could play indefinitely and never get bored of? Because for me, like, ultimately a game's worth in its ranking is ultimately impacted by how fun it is or how much of an impact it had on me, for example. So whenever I give games whenever I give games a rating in my Discord, and I think number ratings are shit anyways, but whenever I do use them, there's the two things that I take into account The first thing is my pure enjoyment and the way that it impacted me, like personally on an emotional level. And then the second thing I take into account is objectively, how would this appeal to other players based on factors like gameplay mechanics, storyline and narrative, character stuff, graphics, aesthetics, more aesthetics than graphics, performance, etc., etc. And while they should be weighted evenly, I usually weight my personal enjoyment and the impact it had on me much, much higher. So that's why there'll be like times where if I had, let's say, a game where 85% of it was phenomenal, but there was a 15% of it, there was a section that was like an absolute slog and made me not want to play the game, that 15% will weigh really, really heavily on the final score, even though the rest of the game was phenomenal. Because it was enough for me to like want to drop the game and not see it through, right? And that's like an indicator of the game. But does the best game of all time to me need to be something that I can play over and over and over again? I don't know the answer to that. Because I inherently, with most games that I love, I don't enjoy playing them over and over and over again. Like, for example, Trails in the Sky, first chapter, fucking 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I'm not going back to play that again until the remake's out. And I probably never will if there wouldn't be a remake. Armored Core, was it 5? Chat, was it 5 or 4 we played? It was 5, right? Whatever. Fires of Rubicon, Corrin. To see the true ending, I have to play that multiple times. I'm not doing that shit. You can't make me do it. I'm not going to. Therefore, and I enjoyed it. I loved the combat. I thought the story was enjoyable. I thought the customization was great. In fact, Armored Core's customization got me to actively enjoy character creators a whole lot more. But I'm never going to go back and like play through the entirety of that game again. I tried and I was like, I can't be asked. I can't be asked. I already did this. But then there's games like Pokemon, for example, where I consider it to be largely slop outside of the mechanics. And I've replayed Pokemon games dozens upon dozens of times. Final Fantasy, like Digimon World 3 and 2, I've restarted those games so many times I've lost count. I've never beaten them, but I've restarted them a bunch of times. And I could probably, honestly, play Digimon World 2 indefinitely, even if I never beat it. But I don't consider that the greatest game of all time. I don't fucking consider any Pokemon game the greatest game of all time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'd rank it. That's tough. That's tough. I'm trying to think of games off the top of my head that I have a deep and profound love for. There's like Trails, there's Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy X-2, Digimon World 2 and 3, Cyber Sleuth. Best Pokemon game is Arceus. Ooh. I think the best catching and exploration system goes to Arceus. I think the battle system in Arceus is Omega ass. Somehow the worst part of the game when the entire series has a pretty solid battle system. Shiny hunting was really good in Arceus too. Performance wasn't great though. What battle system? Yeah, exactly. I think Monster Hunter is peak and I could probably play that indefinitely. Specifically Wilds. I really liked World until I got to Iceborne. Iceborne was one of the worst gaming experiences I've had in recent memory. Like I didn't even finish it. I dropped the game and I was looking forward to finishing it. I never went back and I never will probably. Damn, that's crazy. I don't think I could call a single fighting game the greatest game of all time. Yeah, as much as I love fighting games, I don't think there's a single one in the discussion. And before people say Smash Ultimate or Melee, I'm going to stop you right there. They are fighting games, yes, but they are definitely not like the best games of all time in my opinion. They're just too like they're too janky. Brawl? I don't think Brawl has a... The only thing Brawl has that gives it even a chance to be in discussion is Subspace Emissary, and Subspace Emissary isn't that good. The only reason it feels that good is because it's carried by the weight of its IPs that are in the game. But the actual like story beats are pretty bad. Card NCL? Card NCL is a banger. Fuck you. Sorry. If you replaced all of the characters in Subspace Emissary with entirely new original characters, nobody would remember it to this day. Nobody would be that hype about it. It's just like, it's just a, like, in my opinion, it's just a fact. I said opinion and then fact. That's how you know I'm a content creator, because I don't know the difference between a fact and an opinion, and I just be saying shit on the internet. By the way, I learned that from the YouTubers. That's how you know I'm getting good at YouTube, by the way. Like, I'm truly getting up there now. I'm going to be one of the greatest of all time. I'm just going to be saying shit as, like, I'm going to be saying opinions as fact. And that's how you know that I'll be one of the best. Right there. Saying shit right now. Exactly. It's so funny to me how much shade I throw at content creators and content creation, even though everybody's just doing it because that's the only way to stay like relevant, get people to click and continue to watch your videos and engage with them so you move up. Like, I understand the game, but I have no love for the game. This shit's so ass. It's so bad. The whole system's rigged, and it's all your fault. It's all the viewers' faults. Fuck y'all for eating this shit up. I'm just joking. It's the fucking algorithm's fault. That's what it is. It's this motherfucking corporation that's like, hey, we need more ad revenue. How do we maximize on this? Let's incentivize our creators to behave a specific way so we get the most amount of dollars in our pocket. And if they don't do that, they get the least amount of viewers. Yay! What's the best game and why is it Big Rigs Racing? Spacefish, I need you to look up a game called Rig for the PS VR right now and watch some gameplay and come back to me. Don't ever say rigs in my chat unless you want me to start talking about rig or rigs for the PS VR. One of the best gaming experiences I've ever had in my entire life. It doesn't look good when you look at a recording, but in VR and just like a whole different experience. Yeah, I don't even think Final Fantasy 14 deserves like greatest of all time. I know you were talking about a truck racer, but fuck that game. I don't care if you can go infinite miles per hour in reverse. When is the watch along so you could take a shower? You should probably go shower. It's in like 20 minutes. 26 minutes. 10 o'clock. Is that Peglin? It is Peglin. I played 19 minutes of it and I said tee hee haha and I moved on. This game's really good. I know Heart is really solid if you're a Digimon fan. If you're late, I can start without. I'm not gonna start without you. We all started this together. We can all finish it together. It's a blood pact. I mean, it's only it's 3 episodes, so it should only take an hour. Be the highest difficulty with every character. Damn, you like playing with balls, huh? I get it. I don't think I could give it to any of these games as much as I love some of them. Yeah, definitely not either of these. No. Yeah, I don't. Also, doesn't the Capcom Collection 2 come out soon? Brother. Yeah, I think Capcom Collection, Fighting Game Collection 2 comes out soon. Yeah, I don't know, chat. Definitely nothing on Steam that I have, I could tell you that. Yeah, nothing on Steam. I wouldn't give anything. I want to give it to the Steam games. Try to think, do I feel that strongly about any video game ever where it's like the best video game of all time? No, I don't. Talking about best games, you could see Monster Hunter Wilds being the best after all the patches are in. Yeah, maybe. Best game of all time. Wilds is truly a masterclass of what it is. RuneScape? Old school RuneScape, maybe? Nah. I wouldn't say so. It relies too much on the community. It wouldn't be able to stand on its own. Whereas, like... I guess that doesn't really matter, though, when you're talking about the greatest of all time. You never played old school RuneScape? Damn. Never really did. Hold that. Yeah, Rust still is the best game I've ever played. It's not, but... Good, dude. Dominus collection? Just throwing a whole ass collection of games in there. You're so right. Maybe? This feels kind of blasphemous to say. But it actually might be a Pokemon or a Final Fantasy game for me. I'm trying to think. But the thing is, like, I can't picture either of those games being 10 out of 10s. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing's wonky. I don't like it. It's really hard for me to quantify what would make a game be the greatest of all time. Best game ever. If I look at it in like a broad appeal sense, if I look at this as like a broad appeal sense and what the game has to offer, I would have to say probably Minecraft or Fortnite. And I don't like either of those games. But as far as like what you get for, you know, getting into it, I'd probably just like off knee-jerk reaction have to say one of those two games. And I don't like that. That's probably... one of those two would probably have to be my final answer, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I'll give up. That's a tough one. There's a lot of 10 out of 10s for you. Monster Hunter World, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Banjo-Kazooie in your 10 out of 10s. That's interesting. Huh. I guess that math checks out, though, knowing what I know about you. Yeah, it does. Can't be too surprised. I could say West of Loathing, but nobody would know that game and nobody plays it because they're bad. Bunch of little miscreants. That game's up there. Do I have any 10 out of 10s I can pull out of my ass? Trying to think 10 out of 10 wise. Do I have any? I have a few. FF9? For real, for real? There's a video game. There's a real game. People paid real money for because it was really good. Donkey Kong Country 1 is a 10 out of 10. Interesting. You did a 180 on DK Country 1, by the way. You might have missed it. I know that you didn't like it before. I didn't know that you changed your mind. Or that you feel differently. Feel differently. I remember you making posts about playing through some Donkey Kong stuff. And talking about it here. That you were gonna. I feel like it was after Ape Escape for some reason, but my brain could be misremembering. Legend of Heroes, Cows in the Sky. You love Donkey Kong Country? I know. You like the cart levels a lot. You giggle like a kid on Christmas. Ape Escape's really strong too. Damn. Pokemon. Radical. Do modded. Does raw packs count? I don't think they do. These are ones I played recently. Yes. League. Final Fantasy Tactics. Advanced. Advanced or advanced? I thought it was advanced. FF Tactics. Advance. Final Fantasy 10-2. Probably get some heat for that one. I don't really fucking care. Genuinely goated ass game. I'd like to put Metaphor on this list because I have a feeling Metaphor is gonna wind up in my it's gonna wind up in my 10 out of 10 list, but I doubt it's a good idea to put it in there now. It's a little too soon. Fantasy. Would TCGs also get a pass when we're talking about the greatest games of all time? Probably not, right? Final Fantasy 14. Monster Hunter Wilds is so close to a 10 out of 10 for me. It's just not there yet. They need a little bit more before I can really give it a 10 out of 10. Guilty Gear Strive used to be a 10 out of 10 until it started having network issues. I can no longer give it a 10 out of 10 anymore, though. Which is really unfortunate if you think about. Blaze Blue Entropy Effect actually might be a 10 out of 10 for me. I haven't had a single moment where I was like, That might be my favorite roguelite of all time. TCGs would be a different list. Yeah, you're kind of spinning. I might have to put this one in with a question mark because reasons. But I'm like really. You had to go grab dinner. 10 out of 10s. What'd you get for dinner though? Hopefully something good. I'm trying to like think sequentially in order of like stuff I have, because it's kind of hard to do this. So just like thinking about all the games I've ever played all at once, that'd get really confusing. I think Cardin CL might actually deserve a spot amongst my greatest of all time. Even Quantum Protocol, maybe. They're both really good. I think Monster Hunter Wilds could probably make it. You added deli ham, onion, and sriracha. Kind of dig that. That sounds nice. Sriracha's a nice touch too. Let's see. I have to give, from what I can remember, Pokemon. Was it a Coliseum game? Or was it just XD? Just XD Gala Darkness. Pokemon XD. Gal. You want subs? So maybe get some tomorrow. Gala Darkness is not a 10 out of 10. I'm tripping. Don't mind me. Trying to think like Nintendo titles. I'd give Smash Ultimate like a 9 out of 10. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is probably also a 9 out of 10, somewhere in that ballpark. I haven't played Fire Emblem Engage yet, or Warriors 3 Hopes. I haven't played all of 3 Houses, so I can't really say those at all. Although I feel like I loved what I played of 3 Houses, so... Yeah, I don't really know. I could probably give Stardew Valley a 10 out of 10. Absolutely. That game is... That's like my... Like, a lot of people always come back to Minecraft, right? That's like my Minecraft. I love that game. I don't think there's a single Super Mario game I could give a 10 out of 10 to. Superstar Saga, I remember fondly, but I still don't think that's a 10 out of 10. That was weird. Unity just popped up and closed. That's awkward. You tried getting into Stardew despite liking the devs. So boring to you, and you tried 5 times. That's rough. Sorry to hear that. Terraria was probably a 10 out of 10 experience when I played it. I mean, I put like 500 hours in. Oh, is that why Unity popped up? Is it because VTube Studio crashed again? I think I have to give Crosscode 10 out of 10, which I think is all one word. I love it when my model crashes for no reason. That's really cool. Thank you. Love that for me. Yeah, I don't think I'd give a single Super Mario game. Babe, honey, was good. Crosscode. One Step from Eden I never finished. Tangle Deep, if I finished it, I would probably give it to it. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there's no shot in hell. Pokemon Sword and Shield, there's no shot in hell. Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, maybe. Maybe. Sun and Moon, no thank you. X and Y, maybe. Black, White, 1 and 2, possibly. Nah. I think the Pokemon's all cap out at a 9 for me. Pokemon Conquest was really good. What about... Mystery Dungeons were also really good, but I still don't think that there are tons. Harvest Stella, I never got to beat, so I can't really comment on that. Try to think now. PlayStation games. Mario Odyssey, Zelda, Majora's Mask, Card NCL. Yeah, Card NCL is so good, and so is Hades. Donkey Kong Country, Astrobot, Vampire Survivors. Ooh, Vampire Survivors is like an elite pull. Kirby, Robobot, Balatro. Those are all pretty good. Neon White, I still gotta play that. Need Schmeat and not a turkey burger. We got hot dogs in the fridge. Prefer the original Ruby Sapphire. The remake didn't make the locations look as good as you hoped. Yeah, the graphics weren't quite there. For me, it's more like the overall gameplay was just better. Spyro's a 10 out of 10. Spyro's pretty damn good. Spyro's pretty damn good. Unfortunately, I never really resonated with platformers or the collectathons that much, so games like Spyro, even as much as I like them, Crash, Jack and Dexter, I can't really give any of those like 10 out of 10s. It's probably a hot take as well, but Tales of Symphonia 1 and 2. Yeah. Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy Dissidia. This one specifically. Mega Man Star Force 3 is a 10 out of 10. They just be putting words on the title at this point. That point. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played that one, unfortunately. Is that a Battle Network one? Because if it is, it's one of the ones I didn't play. Star Force. Never played the games for it, but you love the anime. Design is sick as fuck. What? It's a DS game, huh? Has cards. It's a continuation of Battle Network. Oh, tight. This looks kind of dope. This looks kind of dope. It's pretty cool. Does this have a subtitle? Can't remember. Just Draglade. I think Draglade was probably a 10 out of 10. I haven't played it in years though. Oh shit, Draglade. Custom Robo. Zone of the Enders. I just unlocked like a random burst of games in a row. You really struggled on 1 and 2, and then 3 was incredible. 1 was decent, 2 was bad. Lamau sequel syndrome. That's funny. I feel like I'm forgetting games because my brain is omega fried right now. So I'm probably forgetting some shit for no reason whatsoever, other than just to forget shit. What in fucking tarnation? Yippee! Let me see something really quick. I was yapping. Are any of these 10 out of 10s? That is a negative. Ghost Rider. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. Oh, I don't see it. It's fine. You like Card and Sale a bunch and haven't gone down the Mega Man Battle Network rabbit hole. So the thing was, like, Mega Man Battle Network, I played the originals and one of the sequels. And then I played a little bit of one stuff from Eden, and then I never beat Card and Sale either. I need to, I just haven't made time. It's more of a time issue. But I would consider Card and Sale to be almost completely different, more of a roguelike deck builder, because it's the mechanics are just so far removed from Battle Network. I don't think I could compare the two mentally, even if like visually it looks like it should be the same. Ooh. Legend of Zelda. Halo 2's a 10 out of 10. Elite. Yeah, you're probably spitting with that one. Probably spitting with that one for real, for real. Compare them for grinding cards, but yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I could see it then. Like Pokemon Conquest. Pokemon Stadium could be a 10 out of 10 if you include transferring your own mods. You're right, Tasso. You are so right. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron. Star Wars Battlefront. Pretty sure. Elite Squadron. Maybe. Gee. That reminds me. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Dragon Age. Got the subtitle. Dragon Age. Origins. I think that was the first one, right? Maybe my brain's tripping. Yeah, I think Smash Ultimate's probably just a solid 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. But you're right. If it was on there, it was really good. Yeah, part of it is like the online's bad, so I can't give it a 10 out of 10. The other part of it is just like the characters in the game, so many of them feel too samey for me to want to give it a 10 out of 10. While there's a lot of love and care put into the characters and there is a lot of unique stuff, there's a lot of things, like a lot of the back airs feel way too similar. A lot of the front airs feel way too similar. A lot of the neutral airs feel way, like, there's just so many things that while the animations may look different, the actual impact and feel of them are just like almost a one-to-one. It's just like, bro. And while that's obviously not the case, and they are different for the most part, it's just, I don't know. The game is also very, something about the movement felt wrong in that game, in general. So I don't know. But if somebody were to say like, oh, Smash Ultimate's a 10 out of 10, I would never argue them on that point, because like, what Sakurai accomplished with that game is unbelievable. Also, it's 10 o'clock. I'm out of time. Lamau, sorry. I got distracted. We'll finish this another time. I'll finish this another time. I've got some things on here that probably don't belong on here, but these are probably all 10 out of 10s for me. Fighting games shouldn't have bad online. I agree. But, all right, chat. Tomorrow we'll return. I know I'm supposed to do late night lucky, but honestly, depending on how I'm feeling mentally, we may not. I might just do some writing off stream to make up for lost time. I'm not really sure. It just depends. Let's go to Alyss. We haven't had an opportunity to go to Alyss in a long time. Or, yeah, it's probably a good idea. So I would love to continue this conversation in the near future. I'm sorry to cut stream here, but I do have an obligation, and like literally right now. So I'm glad I looked at the time. I appreciate everyone for coming out tonight. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for either late night lucky or metaphor or Pokemon ROM hack. It really just depends on how I feel. I have no idea. I have no idea. But yeah, this whole thing's cooked. So I look